Hi everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is our fourth project for the month of August, and I am so excited about this card. Just a little backstory here. I watch Connie Stewarrt, who is an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! She is just so much fun to watch, and she has a website that is called Simply Simple Stamping, and this is her website. And you will see that she actually demonstrated this card. I think the biggest form of flattery is when we take somebody else's design and make it our own. And I want to give her all the credit for this design. I did not create it on my own. I borrowed her idea and came up with my own card. But if you would like to get the instructions for this, I'm going to ask you to go out to simplysimplestamping.com. It is Connie Stewarrt who is the demonstrator, and she has so many ideas and so many tips, and she is just a mentor for me. So I just wanted to give her a shout out, and here it is, www.simplysimplestamping.com. Thank you again, and Connie, thank you for the inspiration. So let's go to our card. Our card today is a double gatefold, and the reason why I call it a double gatefold is a gatefold is where it comes like this, but because we have something else on there, it's a double gatefold. So this is going to open up going both ways for you to be able to put a sentiment on the inside, and then it closes like this. Isn't that just the cutest? And again, we're using the wonderful designer series paper. You can certainly flip certain parts of it around. I may try it flipped around so you can see that difference. And then our envelope. So let's get started. In the envelope for my class, in your kit, you are going to have the base. You are going to have a half circle that is a stitched half circle. I used a stitched circle die and then a square die to cut them in half to create the stitched layer. And then this particular one is not really a circle. It's a little flatter than a circle. But I wanted something to sort of mat and layer this. And it's not a perfect match, but it sure is fun. It's pretty close, and I liked the fact that it made it pop. Okay, you're going to find 2 pieces of designer series paper. All the dimensions are on Connie Stewart's site. You can always use the other side if you prefer. You're going to have 2 gorgeous grape pieces that these will mat on. Okay, you should have 2 fresh freesia papers, and well, I got a little excited. I think I did it more than once. I think I did a triple one here. I don't know what I was going for. I went a little crazy. I did. My sample doesn't have it, but this is how I made it. So we're going to do it this way. So there's 2 of the fresh freesia. These 3 will mat and layer together. These 2 are your side panels for the gatefold, and they're going to go on the outside like this. Now it's your choice if you want this to be a matte color and then mat and layer it so it looks like this. Let's mat it right. I'm giving you opportunities to make it your own. I am okay with that. That's what is so much fun about this. I'm just holding it together here, and then this would come across. That's up to you if you want to do all of that extra, but if not, you're fine. You can do it exactly the way I'm doing it with the foil side up. I happen to like the foil side up. Then on the inside you will have a piece of white and a piece of gorgeous grape. These are going to mat and layer together also. And they're just very, it's just an 1/8 of an inch, not even that, all the way around, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. And we're going to stamp this. So let's get started. We're going to start with our stamping this time because then the rest of it will go together fairly simple. You should also have a piece of ribbon. That is the Fresh Freesia ribbon. Okay, so let's start with stamping. And we're going to stamp with Fresh Freesia. We're going to do our sentiment. We're also going to do, let me move all of this to the side. I'm going to get it all over the place, and you watch and see. This, and our envelope. So let me start with the big stamp. I like the big stamp. Okay, and this is my inside, so I'm just going to push that down. There we go. Then my envelope. Now I'm doing this off the side a little bit, and then in the back I am going to press really hard. I'm going to come in and roll up onto it and roll down to it's kind of give it a little bit of a shadow, but hopefully it looks like one piece when it's shut. Okay, and then let's do our sentiment. We're going to do Let's Celebrate again. So here we go. Okay, pretty good. Well, that's a keeper. Let's take it off my dimensionals. And now we are done with all of the stamping. And let's assemble. Okay, first thing I'm going to assemble is this to the inside, this gorgeous grape. Now, I usually use glue when it's this close, but I'm going to try to do it with the tape. So bear with me. Let's hope I can do this without having to lift it off again. Okay, so again, I kind of come in at the side and try to make it look like it's going to be pretty even around. I think that I did pretty good. I'm going to say that's a good one. Your gatefold, if you would like, you can go through and just reburnish them. Okay, and then this will go on the inside of here. So let's get adhesive on it. And I just try to get it roughly in the middle there. Okay. Now, what I do is I adhere my long pieces to my long pieces first, and then I put them on the outside, and then I start assembling everything else. So let's do that. And if you have a direction, like you want your leaves to all be going down or up, depending upon your paper, you're going to put it a different way. I really don't think this paper has a lot of direction to it. So that's nice. And here we go. Oh, crooked, crooked, crooked. Crooked, crooked, crooked. So seeing how that's just a little different right now, I am going to come in from the side. I'm going to do it like that. I just think it wants to be crooked. There we go. And I'm going to put that on. This one piece was just a little bit bigger than the other piece. I must have had a bad day of cutting. So I don't have a replacement one, so I am going to lift this one off. And you will see what I do to fix this. It's about 1/8 of an inch too wide. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer real quick. And I know there's adhesive on here, but it's okay. I am going to, hopefully you can see this, I'm going to just take 1/8 of an inch off of this. I'm going to just take a smidge more off. Now it does stick because there's adhesive on it. It will be close enough for rock and roll. Sorry about that, people. I'm just having an issue today, I think. Probably 3 videos is my max in a row. I'm trying to do 4. That's probably the biggest problem right there. Okay, now I purposely have this small at this end because I did that on the other one, so they look like I meant to do it. That's how I fix my mistakes. Okay, and we're going to adhere these to the card base. And like I said, all these measurements are on Connie Stewart's website, simplysimplestamping.com. And she really is just phenomenal. I just love watching her. I have been following her for like 5 years now, and she inspires me every single day. So I just want to say that because, you know, everything's old is new. I mean, pretty much everything is always going to be something we can, as we call it, copy, share with it, and share with everybody, or case the item. And that's what we've done here. We have cased Connie's item. Let's put our sentiment together. There we go. And let's put together these and see if we've got them all the right size. They should just be progressively smaller on each one. And those are, let's make sure the other ones are before we start gluing things all over the place. And those are too. So I think we're good here. So let me put these together. I don't know, if you're watching this video, tell me what you think about this card, because I just think it's a lot of fun. It's a nice celebratory card if somebody was having a birthday that really likes purple. I have a friend who is a purple fanatic. Everything is purple, purple, purple. I happen to love purple too, so that's not... Thus, we are friends. That's the best way to put it. Let me get that off of there before I get it on something else. That's a nice thing with the adhesive. If it gets on something, you can usually ball it right up. And then you know, you've got it. There we go. Did we get a little piece of adhesive there? I think we did. This is a adhesive eraser. I know that sounds funny, but it's rubber and it will pick up any adhesive that is left on the page. So there's one. Let's do our other one. And we do each one of these separately because we want to space them right on our card, number 1. Number 2, one we're going to make look like a present. Okay, and then we're going to put it together, and our card is just about done. I think we're at the hard part, and the reason why I say that is I think tying a bow is always the hardest part of a card. I don't think they're that terribly hard, but they are the ones that seem to give most people the nervousness. So what I'm going to tell you to do is you're going to take this piece of ribbon, we're going to tie it on this piece here, and to your best ability, just pretend you're tying your shoes. Okay? So go ahead and tie it, and just like you would a pair of tennis shoes, however you do your tennis shoes, you're just going to tie that bow. Now, here's a trick that somebody told me. If you're having trouble holding on to that, manipulating it, put a glue dot down there. You certainly can do that. I'm going to try to do it without doing that, but that doesn't mean I won't revert to it. I eventually put a glue dot under there anyways, just because I want the bow to stay where I want it to stay. And of course, I'm on camera and I'm having trouble with my fingers working. Okay, got my bow. Now this bow looks terrible, so I'm going to fix it by holding the knotted spot with my finger and pulling my bow into where I want it to be so I can zhuzh it, as I call it. We're going to zhuzh it, and then I'm going to say, do I like where that is? I think I do. So I'm going to get my glue dot. Here we take our take your pick tool. We're going to go grab a glue dot. I'm going to roll it a little bit. I'm going to lift up underneath there, and right underneath the center of that bow, I'm going to put a glue dot, so now it's going nowhere. Baby's going nowhere. I'm going to trim this while I've got it off the card. Okay, and I think that looks really, really good. Okay, and on the other one, we're going to take some dimensionals, and we are just going to pop it up for a little bit more height, not much. One in the bottom, one on the top, and I'm saying this backwards, one to the one side and one to the other side. Again, I like using these little dimensionals. So I hope you like it too. Lots of fun. And I'm going to put this right in the center of this one. So now what you want to do is I put this one on this side and I center it up. I'm going to put adhesive here, and it's easier if this isn't on with the adhesive if you're using a tape runner, but I am going to use my green glue. And I know that this is not going to be the whole back side of it. So about halfway through, I just kind of hold it. So I know that my glue has to be on this side. And I'm going to put my glue there. Okay. And now I'm going to hover this over so it looks like it's even. And I am going to set that down. I'm just going to set it down there. And I'm just going to hold it for a minute. When you're working with the foils, the adhesive, if it's wet adhesive, takes a moment to make itself tacky enough to stay where you need it. And then this part is going to go down here. Again, we're only going to glue half of it. So you're going to take this, and I'm going to straighten my bow. There we go. At least the part that comes off the bow. There we go. And I'm going to glue one half. There's no right or wrong way to this bow, so I'm just going to glue one half of it. And I'm going to come in here, and I am going to set it right there. And hopefully, now see, this one gave me just enough room to move that again. A little bit of wiggle room in there because the glue is wet. And we're just going to hold that for a second. I'm going to close the green glue, put it in its holder, and voila, you have this beautiful card that can be for a birthday, it can be for a wedding, it could be for an announcement, hey, you got a new job, or let's just celebrate the fact that we're alive. You don't have to have a special reason to send a Let's Celebrate card. So I want to thank you again for coming and seeing my video. I hope you enjoyed it and have a great day. Bye-bye.